I'm Tom. They call me Guitar Tom because I'm often seen with a guitar. And they used to call me on the phone back when this was a call-in show back in like the 90s when call-in shows were a thing. And they'd ask me questions. They'd say like, "Hey man, what's your show about?" And I say, "It's about an hour. It's about guitars, guitar players, and all things guitaristic." So we talk about related topics like guitarrones, guitarras, sitars, vihuelas, banjos, balaicas, bazookies, bajos, sextos, bandurias, bandolins and mandolins, and, you know, trombones and trombamarinas and accordions and ocarinas and, you know, such things. Politics, world events, and people's personality problems. But we try to keep it clean. This is a family show. Okay, so this event, and I dressed accordingly. We're up at Uptown Bill's Coffee House, going live. If this is Tuesday and you're watching this, you could come on down to Uptown Bill's here on the South Dubuque Street, corner of South Dubuque and Lafayette, down by the tracks, because this is our kind of our swan song. Young Tom over here is going to move on with his life, and the TV station, of course, is downstairs. So we've always kind of harmonica, a really fancy golden one. His rabbi took him into West Music when I was a young fellow wearing a tie and a name tag, and I sold him the nicest harmonica we had. His rabbi bought it for him. And, but he usually wore overalls. I think I only saw him wear overalls. And there's that. So I'm doing this in honor of Bill. And also, I know people watch us in like other cities. San Antonio is one, but you know, this is what people, like on the coasts, think people from Iowa look like, overalls. So I figured I'd wear these. And these are actually the roomier ones. These aren't the fashionable ones. If I were going to go out and do some serious, like, manual labor, I'd probably wear these. So anyway. Also, I brought this guitar with me. This is one that I kind of rescued from a pawn shop. And this is a Norman. It's made in Quebec, Canada, up there in the north. And I don't think the Canadians are a national threat to us, despite what we might hear in the news. I don't think so. I've been to Canada before, and of course there's Quebec, and that's a little different, but still I don't think they're a threat either. And this is made by French Canadians. And it's kind of a nice guitar. I got it really cheaply, because it was really messed up. And then somebody had taped things all over it and with Scotch tape, and then probably left it for years like that. So I couldn't get the tape off, and eventually I had to dissolve it off with acetone. So I have all these bald spots on it, but I cleaned it all up, and I scrubbed and lemon oiled the fingerboard, and I shined it all up and put a nice set of strings on it. Straighten out the neck slightly, and it's kind of nice. Now, I hope Donna's here soon. She's the ukuleleist, and she tends to foster rescued animals, dogs and cats. And I don't want to do that because I tend to collect guitars. We only have the one cat and no dogs at this point in my life, and if I started fostering, I'm afraid that I'd end up with a menagerie. Okay, I'm going to play something here real quick. And then I think we should have some guest stars. thank you very much. So, hey, Felix, did you want to come up here and play? Is that the idea? Well, while you're getting yourself up here and organized, come on up. I'm going to try to tune this thing. I have a tuning fork. And since I'm wearing overalls, I can call it a pitchfork. But I've become corrupted. Well, have a seat. Yeah, there you go. You'll be able to see that? Okay. Close enough? We could, you know. There we go. This thing was in tune, but okay. Now you know what you got to do is you got to point the sound hole right at that microphone, and then they'll be able to hear you at home, right? Mm-hmm. You ready to go? Are you nervous? Ah, good. I thought it'd make you nervous if I just said that, right? All right, so we rehearsed this one, didn't we? Okay. So I'm ready. Time you are. Okay, all right. What else do you have for me? Why don't you put it underneath the other one? That would be great. There's this whole thing about keeping your sheet music together, and you know, they have these professional page turners who turn pages for people. You probably need a page turner. All right, I'll play that one. Prelude number 4 from the Aaron Shearer Method book. I can hardly wait. This is classical guitar. You ready? Okay. Okay. So Felix, I'd say you laid it right in the groove, man. I'm sorry, I'm talking like a jazz musician again. I was doing this jazz thing earlier. But, you laid it right in the groove. If I had a medal, I'd give it to you. But I don't have a medal for you, so I'm not going to give you a medal. Okay. So you're done. Good for you.
How you said it.
Yeah. Now what are we going to do for fun? We could have Olivia come up, I suppose. If you want to get it over with, Olivia? So Felix there, who was just there, he's a classical guitarist now. We were doing the kind of the folk guitar thing, but he's kind of segued into classical guitar. And the thing is, if you play classical guitar, it expands the mind in other ways. So even if you don't grow up to be a guitar player, and I would not suggest that as a career move. I've been doing it for a long time, and it's a rough job, man. But it does expand the head, and you see this hat I'm wearing is a double extra large. So that could happen to you. You might have to send off for your hats, because you can't just go and buy one at Target, you know, if you keep this classical guitar thing, because your head swells up. Seriously. I don't know how you feel about that, but it's true. Okay, fairly true. How are you doing? Strum that thing, will you, just once? I think you did a good job. All right, what do you want to play? This is Olivia here. So, what do you want to play? Want to play those two? All right. We're gonna do our gospel thing here. Ready? All right, okay. So we're gonna do a little bluegrassy gospel, right? Will a circle be unbroken? Circle be unbroken by... Go ahead, I'm sorry. The singing. That's what you call it, huh? Anyway, okay, go ahead. Say, Bob, do you have any words of wisdom for us this week?
I make no guarantees about wisdom. I do have a few words.
Okay, well, come on over. This is Bob. He's the... Bob, for much of the year, is the second banana on Tom's Guitar Show. Johnny Carson had his Ed McMahon, and, I guess Conan O'Brien has his Andy Richter. But Bob is the second banana. I guess that would make me first banana. So, you can get that closer if you think. But
if you want to be the first banana, you got to start at the bottom of the bunch.
That's right. Okay. Again, Mike has to be closer, you think, or?
If he's going to use that one, he could just pull up the other one too.
Yeah, but he can make it closer. How's that?
Closer. Two peanuts walked into a bar. One was assaulted. E flat walks into a bar. The bartender says, "Get out, we don't serve minors."
That's, E flat is a relative minor. Yeah, it was minor C, okay, sorry, go ahead, minor third. Okay, go ahead.
A fish walks into a bar. Bartender says, "Shouldn't you be in school?" Past, present, future walk into a bar. It was tense.
That's a grammar joke for you all use at home. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Charles Dickens walks into a bar. Orders a martini. The bartender says, "Olive twist." A Roman walks into a bar, holds up two fingers, says, "5 beers." Frenchman walks into a bar with a parrot on his shoulder. Bartender says, "Where'd you get that?" The parrot says, "France, they got millions of them there." If you take your laptop when you run, you might jog your memory. A bicycle can't stand alone, it's too tired. A plateau is a high form of flattery. If you don't pay your exorcist, you might get repossessed. And dead batteries will be given away free of charge.
Well,
that's all I have today.
I think that's enough. All right then. That was Bob. Words of wisdom. Well, before we get somebody else up here, who would probably be Andres. I don't know what to call him. I always want to call him Andres, Andre, or Andre. But I like... Andres Segovia was a famous guitarist, Spanish guitarist who lived in many countries he skedaddled during the Spanish Civil War, just like a lot of people did, anybody with any sense. And then, but André was our cook in the pension I lived in Paris when I was 9 years old. And he was kind of a skinny fellow, and he would always have a cigarette behind his ear, or half-smoked one. It was a gitane jaune, which is a yellow cigarette because it has corn paper. And it was André the cook, and he would always burn the beans, which I think is green beans. That's Cajun style. Anyway, he was a career, basically he was a career cook in a low-rent room and board hotel. Anyway, that's not who I think of when I think of you, okay? But I think I'll call you Andreas. That's better, isn't it? Slightly better. There you go. Hey, there's Donna. Andreas. Andreas. André. André. Andrei. What do you, I can call you anything but late to lunch, right? Or, yeah. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, so André, he's a classical guitarist. And we've been actually hanging around together, playing classical guitar together since he was much shorter. 7 or 8 years old? Yeah, okay. Now he's a lot older, you can tell. I think you're about taller than me. You're about my height now, I think. Well, see, I was 5'11", but then I got to 5'10", and now I think I'm like 5'9". I'm shrinking. And you're on the way up, and I'm on the way down, so you better work hard, man. You got to take over for me when I'm too decrepit. Never mind. Go ahead. Play us this tune. I go down after it, but I know better than to go down after music that's, on the floor. Music, picks, pencils, things like that, you bonk your head. So that classical guitar stuff is actually a bit harder than other things you can do. I mean, it's probably the hardest kind of guitar to play, most difficult. There's jazz, but the thing about jazz is the lifestyle is difficult, I've known some jazz musicians, but I'm not going to talk about them. This is a family show. Okay, so Mr. Skopinski, we usually save your poetry till dead last, but we decided we were going to save young Tom for about 10 minutes after the show's over. So you want to come up and...
Yeah, we can do that. It's going to be brief.
Oh, okay, well, that's okay. We're just winging it. A whole bunch of people didn't show up, or aren't coming, so, yeah.
They're lost.
Yeah, but...
Is this the microphone? Okay.
Hold that one closer,
Yeah, bring it a little closer to yourself there. Yeah, there you go.
and then I'll turn it up.
Okay.
How's this?
Great.
Okay. Well, in preparation for celebrating young Tom's transition to his next phase of his life, I had found 3 poems of farewell, emailed them to myself, but due to a comedy of errors of no internet access, not being able to access my email, and then my cell phone going dead, I do not have those poems. So, in a last-minute event, I grabbed an anthology of poetry from the Coralville Public Library.
Oh, there you go.
So I was just looking through it. I could not find any poems of farewell, except for the very last poem in the book, a little 6-line poem, and it's by Leonard Cohen. And we're going to have to do a little bit of translation here because the title of the poem is For Anne. So let's, in our imaginations, let's make this for Tom. And but I think it's quite applicable, the 6 lines here. So this is For Anne by Leonard Cohen. With Annie gone, whose eyes to compare with the morning sun? Not that I did compare, but I do compare now that she's gone. So let's translate that to he and to Tom, and we'll miss him.
I don't know if I'd describe his eyes like the morning sun, but I guess,
Well,
it's some latitude for poetic license. And
it's an inner energy. When people have an inner spark, that always comes through in their eyes. So yes, we will miss young Tom. So, and that's all I have as far as poetry. I hope
that's good enough.
Yeah, and I was determined to do some poetry because we have a long tradition of reading poetry.
Well, that was one of the things we wanted to do up here. So young Tom over here and I and the people at the PATV and everything, we kind of insisted on having television up here, having the television cameras. Now, you might not know it, but there are cameras around the room. We are on live TV right now on the local cable, and we should be streaming somewhere on the internets. And then we'll be loaded up to YouTube, so we'll have this for posterity. So what we wanted to do with this stage, and I think Tom over here was a big part of it, was to have this be available performance space for poetry readings. I don't know if you folks ever watch TED Talks, but those kind of things, lectures and things like that, and of course a lot of music. So maybe I wanted to do stage readings, theatrical stage readings on the show.
Oh, that's that'd be a super idea.
I think it'd be fun. I was in the playwrights workshop for a while, and I got roped into trying to be an actor, which I was not very good at, but it's quite a craft. Mm-hmm. But you sit there and you dramatically read the play, mm-hmm. But it's a lot cheaper because you don't have to have a set, you don't have to have block, you have to walk around in costume or anything. You just sit there and read the play, but as an actor, and I thought that's kind of exciting. But there's a lot of things can happen on a stage like this, so we're.
Yeah, that's interesting. I from the Iowa City Public Library, I have a book by Thomas Merton. It's called Raids on the Unspeakable, and it's a selection of his maybe more secular writing. And one of the passages is, I think he envisioned it as some kind of a stage play, but the but the instructions are kind of built into the narrative. So if you had, it would maybe take 2 or 3 people to read some of the quotes and stuff like that. But that would work very perfectly in a.
Well, yeah, I think we should keep this stage. We're going to go through some transitions here, of course. As we keep going on and on, at the TV station that we're PATV, which is downstairs, and which is the entity, which is there's somebody in the control. Who's in the control room, by the way?
Intermittent. The staff down there is keeping an eye on it.
Okay, so there's a. But anyway, so there's a TV studio and everything, and this is in the same building and so forth. So we're wired together, but we are to lose our funding in August. At the beginning of August, actually, so we've got 1 more month after this of funding. We have a little bit saved up. I don't know what's going to happen at PATV or Uptown Bill's Coffee House. We've been having meetings and things trying to figure out how we're going to persevere. We could conceivably lose it all soon. This stage, this bookshop and coffee house, and the TV station, which is something I've been at since the beginning in the late 80s when it became PATV. I was with it when it was Heritage Cablevision in about 1987, and then I think it was 90 or so that it became PATV for real. And so, in any case, yeah, that's what we're thinking of. So I'd like to keep this stage here. In fact, I might have put a couple dollars in the fishbowl over there.
And speaking of books, these books are donated, and you also sell them, don't you, Tom? Yes, and I'm sure that helps too, a source of revenue there. I don't know how well you can see it at home from where the cameras are pointing, but we've got a whole bunch of walls of books here. They're donated. It's the ambience you want in a coffee shop to encourage reading and stuff, but you can also purchase these books. So if you like to go to thrift stores like Salvation Army or Goodwill, it's a wonderful collection of books. As a matter of fact, I'm going to buy one. I've had my eye on it. It's an historical atlas of the historical world atlas. It's exactly what I need. It's been sitting over in the corner, and after the show is I'm going to purchase that, and I'll be bringing some books to donate too. This is a library book. Otherwise, I'd donate this, but I can't.
You could donate it, but that probably wouldn't be very good.
No, Coralville.
And I advise you to go buy that, just grab that book now, because there might be a big rush on it now that you've drawn attention to it.
I've drawn attention to it, yes.
Yeah, so, okay, well, thank you.
Well, thank you, and fare thee well, young Tom.
Yeah. You know, after when he was reading that poem, I realized I should be doing it after you're gone. Crying after you're gone, there's no denying you'll be blue, you'll be sad, you lost the greatest friends you ever had. I don't know it anymore, I've forgotten it. You don't remember it either, do you, Donna? Nah, okay, all right. Who wants to come up next? You or you? Donna, come on up, Donna. Oh yeah, I gotta read something though while she's getting herself situated. Now, I'm going to have to read music a lot here. So I brought these are glasses from the $1 store. Okay, this is Ray. I was asked to read this. What is Porch Fest? Well, I can't even see. What if you had an afternoon where neighborhood porches became stages and everyone just walked around listening to the musicians, hanging out and on lawns and sidewalks and connected with their neighbors. We are a group of fun, music-loving North Liberty residents. Oh, that's another city, who cares? Okay, inviting all of the in the corridor to our Arlington Ridge neighborhood for the event's 3rd year. Please join us Saturday, August 11th for a family-friendly afternoon of music, food. I thought it said toad. I thought I would see this very well. Food, games, and great company. Getting Porch Fest is quick, easy, free parking at the Penn Meadows Park North and Penn Street, on Penn Street. And I found, okay, so, yeah, North Liberty Porch Fest, August 11th. So, I should have had you read this there.
Well, I want you to know that I watched the show waiting for it to stop raining, and I think I saw you on TV. So it is working. PATV live.
Oh, you saw
I think
Felix?
so. Did you play?
He was first.
Yeah, I saw you. You're rocking out.
Yeah, he did a good job. He laid it right in the groove. Do you know what that means? To lay it in the groove? No, I didn't think you did. Okay.
It means you killed it.
This is hipster slang. Yeah. See, this is hipster slang from back when the hipsters were in the 50s, like jazz musicians. Are you hip? Are you hip? You probably hip. Think of hip as something on the side of your body, above your leg, right? No, you can be hip, man. I'm sorry. I'll teach him how to talk like a jazz cat. No, you're a classical guitarist. You need to have a large vocabulary and know lots of thing about geography and world history, and then bore people at parties with your massive knowledge of the origins of the pieces you play. He's giving me a blank look like, this guy's crazy.
He's like, do I have to do that?
Anyway, that's classical guitarist.
In the olden days, people laid the needle of their record player in the groove.
That's right. That's right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can you see this?
Not very well, no. I'm gonna try to. I should have brought that with me, but, oh yeah, it's your mic stand's not in the way, I can see it better. There we go, I'll be okay.
This one?
You know, Donna, it's all about you anyway, so.
Well, I kind of need Tom. I need you so that it sounds good.
Yeah, well, I'll play a little extra part. She's got the banjo going there, I mean.
Yeah, you'll be able to hear it, trust me.
Yeah, okay.
Up in the morning, out on the job, work like a devil for my pay. But the lucky old sun has nothing to do but roll around heaven all day. Fuss with my woman, toil for my kids, nothing but wrinkled and gray. While the lucky old sun has nothing to do but roll around heaven all day. Good Lord above, you know I'm crying, tears all in my eyes. When I look down to the silver lining, take me to paradise. Show me that river, take me across and wash all my troubles away. While the lucky old sun has nothing to do but roll around heaven all day. Good Lord above, you know I'm pining, tears all in my eyes. When I look down to the silver lining, take me to paradise. Show me that river, take me across and wash all my troubles away. While the lucky old sun has nothing to do but roll around heaven all day. While the lucky old
There you go, yeah.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Donna. You'll be up here a little later for our tribute song, won't you? Yeah, she'll be back. Yeah. How we doing? Oh. So, young Tom, do you want to come up and tell us a little bit about your, your future plans? And maybe, I don't know if you want to share any humor with me. I know you're staying in Iowa anyway, and Iowa stands for idiots out wandering around. Or some say Iowa, 75% vowel. Or, yeah. And the other ones we can't mention on a show like this, so anyway.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Well, I actually made it onto the show.
Yeah.
More times than not, you promised me a spot, and then
Hey, that rhymes.
we're over.
More times than not, you promised me a spot. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
What do you get when you cross a hedgehog and a toothbrush? I'm sorry, a hedgehog and a giraffe.
Hedgehog and a giraffe? I don't know.
A really tall toothbrush.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Okay.
What about a hedgehog and a sheep?
I don't know.
An animal that can knit its own sweaters.
There you go. Okay, yeah.
So, yes, as you said earlier, it's true. After a lot of years, I'm leaving. Mm-hmm. The journey began 19 years ago. I came for graduate school, and I was at Wild Bill's Coffee Shop. And after a year, that ended up being my graduate assistantship, managing Wild Bill's. Mm-hmm. And I finished, and I went away, although I came back a number of times to help out various things. In the meantime, Uptown Bill's started, and I came back for good, if you will, in 2010, just as Uptown Bill's was moving to this spot. Mm-hmm. And so that's another 8 years. And so Bill and I are breaking up.
We've been doing this for 8 years now?
8 years, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So, no, we're not breaking up. I'm sure I'll still be connected somehow. In fact, I heard from Barry Morrow today. Barry's the guy in the big picture behind me, the guy on your right with the tie. He's the person who brought Bill to Iowa from Minnesota and ended up writing a story which turned into a screenplay for a movie. And Mickey Rooney played Bill, and young Dennis Quaid played Barry. Dennis is the one in the upper left, for those of you looking at the picture. And Barry eventually went to California. Bill stayed here and managed the coffee shop until he died. But the coffee shop stayed, the original one, Wild Bill's. It's still in North Hall, still the same spirit, and we're the community cousin. Or sometimes I say the bigger, badder Bills. Mm-hmm. And so I'm headed to Des Moines.
The Big D.
Yeah. In a week or so. My last day here is Saturday. And the fellow who's behind the counter currently, Jason, will be my summer replacement.
Okay.
And the board's been
How
meeting.
come his name isn't Tom? Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, he said he was willing to change his name to Tom or to Bill.
Okay.
Whichever seemed to work. As many of you may know, the founder of Uptown Bill's was also named Tom Walls, who died earlier this year. So it was an easy transition when I came, because I knew Bill's and my name was Tom. So it fit quite well. Hey.
Somebody's trying to call me.
Getting a call on the air.
I'm not going to answer it. Go ahead.
It could be one.
Nobody ever calls me. That's why
one of your fans calling on the air.
Yeah, right. One of my fans.
Yeah.
I have a couple of fans. They're in the windows at home.
So I hope when I get to Des Moines, I hope to do some community work and maybe teach a class or two.
Oh, okay. You have anything lined up there? Or you...
Yeah, some other. I think of this as community social work.
Okay.
And so I'll be doing some other social work.
All right.
Youth work, and you should come visit. Take the show on the road.
Right. You can have a place where I could play and bring my show?
Sure. We'll do it at Mars Coffee Shop.
Oh, okay.
Right there on University Avenue across from Drake.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Mars Coffee. Okay. Well, I'll try to remember that.
Yeah.
And maybe I will come. I've been wanting to go to Des Moines. I have my three nieces and their husbands and children all live in the Des Moines area.
Well, there probably is a studio at Drake also we could commandeer.
Oh, okay. Well, there's TV story. Well, we should PATV and And all of us should become more statewide and regional because
Sure.
power to the people and all that stuff, right?
And there aren't many community television operations like this in Iowa anymore.
You know,
At one time there were. The original cable television instructions called for every community that had cable to have a community studio, and the cable companies paid for it. But some years passed by, and that requirement went away, and that's what you're faced with
that's
now
what we're
next
faced with.
month.
A lot of them are going all over the country. There used to be so many little stations. I used to have a Tom's Guitar Show over the North for the North Liberty station, and the guy who produced it with me would take it around to all these other little towns. He's an older fellow. And there's an old lady in Tipton who would had a stack of VCRs in her living room, and she would feed the tapes in, and it would automatically go out over the local cable. So my Tom's Guitar Show of the North was the small town version. Not to say that
Now, I did something like that some years ago. I was living in Milpitas, California, which is right next to San Jose, best known for a Sesame Street skit in which it's What's My Part? And it's like your nose or your ear. And the first prize is a round-trip ticket to Milpitas, California. The second prize is a one-way ticket. Anyway, so we had a show there. I hosted a weekly show for a couple of years, I guess. But it wasn't in Milpitas. It was 2 towns away. So we had to take the set with us every time, set it up. We had a truck. And set the set up and then take it down at the end of the show. It's sort of a public affairs show with a bit of music, but mostly talking about local events and news. So anyway, yes, I'm taking off. Saturday's my last day. There's a party in the afternoon, a party and a potluck, lots of music, a number of wonderful local musicians in little 30-minute segments are playing beginning at 2:30. Oh, and also, we are doing a staged reading.
Really?
Yes, we do this every 3 months, whenever there are 5 Saturdays in a month. We do a Shakespeare play, and this Saturday we're doing As You Like It.
Ah!
You don't have to be in theater. You don't have to have any experience. You don't even have to bring a script. It's all provided. And the person who organizes this does a really good job in getting everybody involved, and yet you don't have to stay to the same part all the way through or read excessively because you got some part that's got 100 lines in it. Really good.
That's good. I know
it's
that
a lot
play.
of fun.
I was in that play.
Were you?
As a lutenist. I played the lute.
Okay.
With the fellows would sing, "It was a lover and his lass with a hey and a ho and a hey nanny no," or something.
Yeah.
And so I was a lute player, and I had wear my tights and everything like that. And then I know after the show was over, we all went out together, and I realized I still had a lot of eyeliner on. But that was back in the early 80s, and people didn't. Nowadays, people wouldn't even look twice.
What about the tights?
I took the tights. I put on like jeans. You know,
okay.
I didn't wear
All
the
right.
tights everywhere, but yeah, I wore the tights.
You might try that some Friday night at Tuscan Moon.
Wear tights?
Yeah.
I might, but I'm more likely to try the overalls. Actually.
Okay. Okay.
Well, thank you very much. We'll miss
Thank you.
but
Thank
we'll do a
you.
little
Thanks
thing.
for the moment on the air.
It's on a wire, but yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm nitpicking. I'm sorry.
Okay. And we hope it's out there streaming too.
Yeah, and
Or
it's on YouTube.
as we say here, screaming on the web.
That's right. It's probably going to be on YouTube forever. So,
All right.
okay. Well,
I'm dismissed now. I may go.
yeah. We got to get Jim up here. You're
Okay.
dismissed. We got to get Jim up here.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Come on, man. We're going to do some music, huh? I forget what we're going to play, but we're going to play it. That's why I brought my glasses, because I'll have to read it. Yeah. Well, the thing is, in my business, I play a lot of wrong notes. And I've been doing it, and I play all these gigs all the time. And but it doesn't matter, because sometimes people don't even notice, which kind of bothers me, because I try so hard to play all the right notes and people don't notice me. But the other thing is that if I make a mistake, it's not like I'm landing a jet on a jet liner at the airport and I missed, and then everybody died in horrible flames. You know, nobody gets hurt, or a brain surgeon who sneezes at the wrong time. You know.
Are there wrong notes in jazz?
Yeah, there are no wrong notes in jazz. One mistake is a clam, too, is jazz. So that joke is from 1920s, because in the 1920s they called the wrong note a clam. And that's an old slang term. Bear that in mind there, Felix. We're going to make sure you know all the slang. No, we don't want you to be a jazz musician. You stick with the classical, straight and narrow the whole way. So, but yeah, one mistake is a clam. Two is jazz. Okay, what are we playing?
I don't know. I was inspired by Olivia. I think we should do Amazing Grace.
Okay, in C, is that where?
We're doing it in C. Gosh, if it was G, we could have her come up and play with us.
Yeah, well, yeah, she was in G. I was going to say all the keys are the same to me, but they're not, because C has no sharps or flats. G actually has an F sharp in it, but, we all know that, right? Circle of fifths. D has 2 sharps, A has 3, E has 4, B has 5, F sharp major has 6, C sharp major has all 7 notes sharp. I mean, right? Donna knew that, right? Yeah, okay. I know about Andreas over here, but you probably, never mind.
So you gonna jump in with us when you get bored?
I'm going to play along with you.
Okay.
Yeah, let's jam, man. Yeah.
What should we do?
I don't know, man. What do you?
That's enough gospel. Maybe we should do some Robert Johnson, just kind of balance out a little gospel there.
Robert Johnson. Okay, yeah. Which not the Elizabethan lutenist, but the Delta bluesman, right?
Yeah. Or we could match it.
I knew a guy at work once. His name was Bob Johnson. He was a really boring kind of guy, but nice guy. But okay. You want to do a little?
A little rambling on my mind.
Oh man.
Do a little 12-bar blues in between there.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll.
It's an E. That's
Yeah,
all
it's an
you
E.
gotta know.
Ah. These are my dollar store glasses. They cost $1. What's that for? That's E, and that's I can't read your writing. What is all this stuff? 3 cents?
3 cents, 4 cents is how much I paid for it.
Oh. I'm not gonna look at that. I'm just gonna play it. So it strikes me, I'm getting these hand signals, we got like just a few minutes left. And we've got to do something. Donna and I have to do something up here. Well, he says he's got 4.
Well, he's probably more.
But, so, we got to do Happy Trails. If we can get Donna up here too, and a microphone for her and everything.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, here, get her in a chair real quick. And we'll just put a chair or something up here, and we'll get a microphone for Donna. Donna can stand. And we get this microphone right here for her. I can try to get it close. And there we go. How's that?
And it's a sing-along.
Yeah, turn that microphone up. Yeah.
I know the words. It's a sing-along. How's that?
Yeah, I'm gonna put my glasses on for this one.
You got enough room there?
Oh, yeah.
You good? Okay.
So it's got an E flat in it, a B7, just for fun.
Yeah. So we're the key E flat. Your banjo's a little out of tune. It's more authentic. Okay.
That I'm very authentic. I'm very authentic with this. Yes, thank you, Tom.
Make sure she's got nice volume on that voice now.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling up to Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather. Happy trails to you till we meet again. To you.
Till we meet
Thank you.
Happy trails to you, and
Happy trails, Tom.
maybe we'll look you up in the Big D. You know, maybe we can have a Tom's Guitar Show road show.
Yes.
Anybody have a bus? And the kind of crowds we draw, we won't need one. But yeah, how are we doing for time?
I don't know.
Well, better look at the chronometer because we might be over. Well, okay. Well, thanks everybody for coming down. We wish young Tom good luck in all his future endeavors. I'll tell you, I might be a jazz musician, but coffee is my substance of choice. That's why I'm not dead yet. More like a classical guitar player, nerdy. Anyway. You might not ever hear this one again. What? On the internet, yeah. Molto bene, molto bene. Thanks for coming down, everybody. And, all right. We'll do it again sometime.
Yeah, that Robert Johnson.
Tom free, but we'll do it anyway.
Oh my gosh. Well.
There you
Okay.
go. Somebody did.
I don't know where Olivia went. Yeah, so did your brother. Well, the fun thing about this is I don't have anything with me. I just have to. There you go. I'm done. Yeah, I usually have